From no plugins to included plugins to free plugins to paid plugins. There are many ways to get fake doubles in your music production. And in this tutorial, we're going to start a series where we discuss each of those options and the kind of results you can get compared to actually recording your doubles. So if you like content like this, then please subscribe to the Logic Band mailing list where you can get a free Getting Started with Logic course. And if you want to support Logic Band, then hit the join button right here on YouTube and become a channel member. Get exclusive content and early access to tutorials, plus a lot more. Alright, so let's talk about doubles. Now, in this particular song, we did record some doubles. In fact, we recorded a lot of doubles. But in this case, we're going to talk about a part of the song where we just have a center vocal and a left and right double. Now, let's say you're in a situation where you want some doubles, but you did not record them. Let's see how good we can fake those doubles, starting with no additional money being spent, using no plugins, included plugins, and free plugins before we move on to what the paid plugin options offer us, and how much of a difference in quality do we get as we move through the different options. Is one better than the other? That's for you to decide, and I look forward to reading your comments on that. Now, first up, we're going to talk about using no plugins at all and just using features built into Logic, like the transpose feature, except we're not going to transpose in semitones, we're going to transpose in cents. So in between every semitone is 100 cents. And as you know, every time you transpose by semitone, that's going to change the pitch to the next note up in the musical scale. But if we did that, it's just going to sound dissonant because it's not going to be in tune with the main vocal anymore. So we're going to just make it a little sharp or a little flat using the fine tune slider inside of the inspector. So right now we just have a single vocal here on this track.
I told you the deal. You know how I really feel. Ain't got feelings for you. How can I get it through?
And that's what we're going to be working with. So first, I'm going to copy this vocal. I'm just going to make sure I have the right region selected. So if I do Control N,
29 bars, 1 beat, 1 tick. 21 bars, 1 beat, 1 tick.
And Control Home, it starts at bar 21, ends at bar 29. So I'm going to copy this region.
Copy.
And I have two tracks set up here.
Track 148, chorus double 1.
Chorus double 1. This one is panned hard left. I'm going to paste my chorus vocal here. So Command V.
Paste.
If I play this one, I'm going to solo
Toggle channel
it.
strip solo on.
See, that's panned
Toggle
hard
channel
left. And I'm going to go down.
Track 149, chorus double 2.
And paste this one on this track, Command V.
Paste.
I'm going to solo
Toggle channel strip solo on.
that. And you see that one is panned hard right. But check this out. If I play them all together,
I told you the deal.
just sounds like that main vocal got a little bit louder, even though I have them panned hard left and hard right. So you can't just duplicate a track and expect to have it sounding like a double. So the first thing we're going to do to make it sound a little bit more like a double is we need to make it not exactly the same exact pitch all the way through, and that's where making it a little sharp or a little flat will come in handy for us. So we're going to go into the inspector and we're going to use a fine tune slider to adjust this to make it slightly sharp and slightly flat. Now, I generally recommend going anywhere from plus or minus 3 to plus or minus 10 to give you enough separation. I think as you start to go higher than, say, 10, it's probably going to get too sharp or too flat that it becomes noticeable, especially if you're extremely sensitive to pitch, like you have perfect pitch or relative pitch or something like that. And if you go below 3, like if you do plus or minus 1 or 2, it's probably going to be so minute that you might not notice the difference. So that's kind of where it starts. All right, so let's jump into the inspector and take a look at this. I'm going to select
Track 148, chorus double 1.
the chorus double 1. That's the one that's panned left. I'm going to make sure I have that track selected because that's the one I want to adjust the region on first. So I'm going to stop interacting with the tracks area and go over
Inspector, group.
to the inspector, interact with this.
In inspector, group, expanded, disclosure triangle.
And you want to make sure this says expanded. Just VO left to hear whether this was expanded or collapsed. If it says collapsed, VO space on it to expand it. I'm going to VO right.
Region. 7 selected. Edit text. Table. Row 11 of 20. Delay. Space. Slider. Has alternate items. Selected.
And that's what we're looking for, is this table. So I'm going to interact with this
In
table.
table. Row 11 of
And I'm just going to do VO home to make sure I'm at the top of the table.
mute. Row 1 of 20.
All right. Now I'm just going to VO down arrow from here, mute.
Loop. Quantize. Q swing. Transpose. Fine tune.
There is fine tune. So if I VO right,
Free space. Slider. Has alternate items.
that will be the fine tune slider. Now I have my voiceover set to speak punctuations, however many they are, including spaces. So that's why it says free space. So you might just hear it say slider instead of free space slider. All right. So if I interact with this, I'm going to take this one up. So I'm going to make this one plus. So when I interact with this, if I do VO right, it's going to take it up in increments of 5. So it's going to go plus 5, plus 10, etc., etc. If you want to move in small increments, you have to use VO shift left and right. So if I interact with this, it goes to plus 5 when I do VO right.
Plus 5.
And if I do VO right again,
Plus 10.
see, it goes to plus 10. I'm going to do VO shift and take this down.
Plus 9. Plus 8. Plus 7.
Let's do
Plus 6.
plus 6.
Out of slider.
There we go. I just stopped interacting with the slider. I'm going to hit the down arrow now.
Track 149 chorus double 2.
And that now moves my focus to the chorus double 2 track, and that region selected. So now I'm still in the fine tune slider. I never left the inspector. So now I can just interact with the slider and do VO left.
Minus 5.
And then VO shift left.
Minus 6.
To take that up to minus 6. So now if I play this, you'll notice that it's not going to just sound like a louder version of the main vocal anymore.
I told you the deal. You know how I really feel.
But as you notice, it still kind of sounds a little chorusy, a little phasey, almost like a little bit of an effect. Now, the other thing too is these tracks are turned down by about 6 dB, so it's not the same level as the main vocal, and that's definitely something you're probably going to want to do when you are doing fake doubles in this manner, is have your tracks with your double just kind of turned down a little bit. Now, the other thing we can do to kind of give this a little bit more separation is to nudge the start and end points of the regions, the fake double regions as well, after we do our slight transposition. All right, so if I stop interacting, I'm going to VO left.
Fine tune.
And that puts me back on where it says fine tune. I'm going to VO down now to go to the delay slider in the inspector.
Pitch source. Flex and follow. Gain. More. Dim. Expanded 10 items and closed.
Okay, when you get to this more, if it's collapsed, just hit VO backslash and that will expand it. Because if it's collapsed, when you do VO down, it's not going to let you go any further. It's going to VO down.
Delay. Level 1.
And there's delay. I'm going to VO right.
Space. Slider. Has alternate items.
And I'm going to take this up. So I'm just going to interact and do VO shift right.
In slider.
So VO shift right.
Plus 109 ticks.
So you see that's plus 109 ticks. And I'm going to stop interacting. I'm just going to hit the up arrow.
Track 148 chorus double 1.
So that's chorus double 1 track. I just went back to chorus double 1 track. I'm going to interact again. This time I'm going to do VO shift left.
Minus 109 ticks.
And take that down minus 109 ticks. So this track, the chorus double 1, is going to start slightly earlier, 109 ticks earlier. And the other track is going to start slightly late, 109 ticks late.
Out of slider.
I'm going to play this now and let you hear what it sounds like.
I told you the deal. You know how I really feel. Ain't got feelings for you. How can I get it through?
You see, now we definitely have more separation going on there, and you can turn the track volume down even more to help that blend in a little better. But let's say that 109 is too much. You don't want to nudge it that much. You want to nudge it in smaller increments. We can just use the option left and right arrows, which is the nudge command. We probably want to set the nudge value to something like ticks, and then we can just use option left and right arrows to nudge it in much smaller increments. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set these two back, the delay sliders back to 0, back to nothing.
In slider.
And so I'm back in that slider. I'm just going to do VO shift right.
Space.
Okay, that one's set. Stop interacting. I'm going to down arrow.
Track 149 chorus double 2.
The chorus double 2, interact with the slider, and VO shift left.
Space.
And set that one back to nothing as well. So now we're back where we started. Everything starts right at bar 21. Now, if we press Control Option T, that's going to set our nudge value to be ticks. And so now when I use Option left arrow or Option right arrow, it's going to nudge the selected region in really, really small increments. And if I do Control Home, I'm going to do Control End
28 bars, 4 beats, 960 ticks.
and Control Home.
21 bars, 1 beat, 1 tick.
So you see this region starts right at bar 21. So if I do Option left arrow, I'm going to nudge this region to start a little bit earlier. So I'm just going to do Option left arrow. Let's do 10 ticks earlier. So I'm going to do Option left and just count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I just did Option left 10 times to make that start a little earlier. And if I do Control Home,
20 bars, 4 beats, 951 ticks.
see that starts at bar 20. 4 beats, 4 divisions, 950 ticks. So you see it's definitely starting earlier. Now, if we up arrow,
track 148, chorus double 1.
This is chorus double 1. We're going to do the same thing, Option right arrow to nudge this one to be a little bit later, but we'll just count it off 10 ticks again. So Option right arrow 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And if I do Control Home,
21 bars, 1 beat, 11 ticks.
You see that one is starting at 21 bars, 1 beat, 1 division, 11 ticks. So let's go
20 bars, 1 beat, 1 tick.
to bar 20, play from here.
I told you the tea.
Not getting as much separation as we were getting before. So let's maybe do another 10 ticks, right? So I'm on the one I nudged to the right still. So I'm just going to do Option right and count off 10 more times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And if I down arrow,
track 149, chorus double 2.
this is the one I did to the left. So Option left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So just hit Option left 10 times there. And let's play this again.
I told you the deal.
See, we're starting to get some separation there. Let's take it up up the ante a little bit. Let's go up by, like, say, 20 ticks this time. So I'm going to do Option left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Track 148,
And
chorus double 1.
chorus double 1. This one is going to nudge to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 20. All right. So there we go.
I told you the deal. You know how I really feel.
And there you go. You kind of get the idea. The more you nudge it, the more you offset it from starting exactly the same place, the more of that separation you're going to get. So you can just kind of play with those settings to find something that's going to work for you. And then, as I said before, adjust the volume as well to blend it in to taste. Now, this one, it may not always work as a good fake double option, but may work as a good option for thickening up something. So you don't have to think of this necessarily only to be a double, but let's say there's a part of a song where it gets bigger and you want the vocal to get a little bit bigger. You can kind of use this and just bring the volume down really low on your fake double tracks and blend it in and use it more as a thickening agent as opposed to specifically a double, you know. So that is another way you can use this as well. Also, if you're using the Logic Keyboard Ninja key commands, Option 1 through 0 will nudge. Option and odd numbers will nudge stuff to the left. Option and even numbers will nudge stuff to the right. And you can consult the Logic Keyboard Ninja key commands to see what those are set to. So 1 and 2 might be milliseconds, 3 and 4 might be samples, etc., etc., etc. Just check the key commands to see what it does. Just remember the odd numbers nudge left, even numbers nudge right. So that's another way you can take advantage of nudging as well. Now, in this particular situation, we did record real vocals, as I said earlier. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what that would sound like. So if I up arrow,
Track 146, chorus vocals FD.
I can mute this track stack.
Toggle channel strip mute on.
And
track 142, chorus vocals mute.
And I can unmute this track
Toggle channel
stack.
strip mute.
So this is the real doubles.
I told you the deal. You know how I really feel. Ain't got feelings for you. How can I get it through?
And if I mute
Toggle channel strip mute on.
that,
Track 146, chorus vocals FD mute.
unmute this,
Toggle channel strip mute off.
you'll hear what the fake doubles sound like.
I told you the deal. You know how I really feel. Ain't got feelings for you. How can I
And there you have it. That's how you can get some fake doubles without using any plugins. You want to use the fine-tune slider in the inspector to nudge things ever so slightly, sharp and flat. One goes up a little bit, one goes down a little bit. You generally want to keep them even, so if you take one up +3, take the other one down -3. If you take one up +10, take the other one down -10. As I said before, you probably don't want to go over plus or minus 10. Probably don't want to go under plus or minus 3, but play with it and see what works best to your ears. Also, once you do that, if you want a little bit more separation, you can also nudge the start point of the regions. Nudge one to be a little bit earlier, nudge one to be a little bit later. You can either use the delay slider in the inspector or use the nudge command with option left and right arrows and set your nudge value to something like ticks with control option T. If you want a little bit more flexibility when nudging, as I said, as Logic Keyboard Ninjas, you can use option 1 through 0, option and odd numbers nudge left, option and even numbers nudge right. Just check the key commands to see what they move by. If you want to see what stock Logic plugin I'd recommend for doing something like this, I would bet you good money it's not the one you think I'm going to recommend, then subscribe so you can catch the next installment of this series. And if you'd like to support us, become a channel member. And also, there is now a Logic Band Discord server. Visit logic.band/discord for all the details. If you found this useful and helpful, hit like and share it with someone that would love to see how they can get some fake doubles going in their productions.